Sleep Deprivation Part 2. Some viewers have asked to understand more about the impact that our behaviours have upon individuals. I've explained in Part 1 of Sleep Deprivation the behaviours that we engage in, why they occur and how they manifest with regard to the impact upon the dynamic between narcissist and victim. But how does this occur with regard to how the victim feels? Are you listening to this through a thudding headache, eyes bleary, as you desperately await the effect of a caffeine boost to kick-start your weary self into life, to endure another day? Perhaps you can vividly recall that drained sensation that haunted you, and that nagging ache which was ever present behind your eyeballs, the need to close your eyes and slip into a deep and restful slumber. All you wanted to do was to close your eyes and allow the tiredness to evaporate, and shrouded in the amnesiac qualities of sleep, you would be given respite from the nightmare that had enveloped you. Yet you were never able to achieve that sleep. Your near permanent anxiety meant that as you lay in bed, you were tensed, ready to respond to the next jibe or manipulation. You heard a click. Was that the narcissist exiting the study at long last and coming to the bedroom, or was it just the house settling? You're hypervigilant, and you can't recall now how long that state has existed, but you did know that it caused a nightly battle where you tried to sleep, but each sound made you twitch and ready yourself for what might come next. Sometimes you must have fallen asleep, such was the extent of your exhaustion, and you dreamed, and then suddenly you awoke. What had happened? Why did you wake so suddenly? You twist and see the narcissist lying there, fast asleep, unburdened by any concerns. Even now, you want to reach out and touch the narcissist in the hope that his hand will be placed on your shoulder, and then his arm will envelop you, making you feel safe and secure, like it once did. You have learned not to reach out, because of the consequences of waking the narcissist from his rest are not worth experiencing again. Instead, your shaking hand retreated, and you turned to look at the clock, and you sighed with resignation, as you realized that the fitful sleep that you endured was actually only about an hour in length. You lay there, eyes stinging and head heavy, giving thanks that it was not one of those nights where the narcissist repeatedly jabbed you in the back to stop you sleeping. How did the narcissist manage to do that, and then bound from the bed refreshed and revitalized, as you rose like a zombie? How had the narcissist been able to interrupt your sleep through the night by prodding you, and yet remain energetic? Was the narcissist sleeping during the day like some vampire hiding from the sunlight? At least this time the narcissist is sleeping, and you have been spared the intermittent prod in the small of your back. It's a small mercy, since the questions and the thoughts race around your mind, as they always do in the dead of night. Why is this happening? Why has it gone wrong? Why am I doing this? When will this torture end? How can you stop it? Should you ask to talk to the narcissist about it? Or risk another argument? How much more can you take? When did you last sleep properly? Those questions, and more besides, whirl around in your mind, having taken a hold in your head. Your eyes flick to the silent television set in the corner of the room, and you debate watching something, anything, just to break the relentless churning in your skull. But even with the volume set at barely audible, you know that it will disturb the narcissist, and then it will be your fault once again. You look to the door, now closed. You manage to resist a lock being fitted to the bedroom door, wary of what further horrors might be unleashed against you, if your exit was barred. But each day you fear that on your return you will see an invoice from a joiner on the kitchen table to find that a lock has been fitted. You ponder whether you should head downstairs. and see if sleep will come on the sofa. Or at least you can put the headphones on and listen to a radio play or some music. That would provide some sanctuary, but yet again, as if possessed of some sixth sense, you know that the narcissist will appear and demand to know what you're doing downstairs in the middle of the night. No matter how deeply the narcissist appears to be sleeping, it is as if the narcissist senses your absence and comes looking for you. It is then that you will face the accusations, as the narcissist seeks to assert control over you, your absence having wounded the narcissist, that you're texting some man behind his back, even though your phone is not in hand. But it doesn't matter what the facts are, does it? The narcissist will always find a way of twisting the blame onto you. No, you cannot steal downstairs, and instead you must remain bored stiff, in bed, as your eyes watch the incessant march of time, and sleep remains evasive. You can feel the hammering of your heart in your chest, even though nothing is happening and all is quiet and still. That sense of foreboding remains. A cold hand of dread has gripped your heart and squeezes, driving the breath from your body and causing anxiety to spread across you. Perhaps you ought to see the doctor and see if he will prescribe something for this. You will need to do it without the narcissist's knowledge, otherwise you will be accused of attention-seeking by going to the doctor without consulting the narcissist first. The narcissist, of course, knows what is best for you and will screen everything you do before determining whether it should be allowed, as part of maintaining that control over you. You know you ought to fight against it, but you are so tired, so weary, and you need what little strength remains to help you navigate a way throughout the day without treading on a mine and causing an explosion of fury. It is getting harder. You forget things now. Your memory used to be excellent, or at least you think it was. Even thinking is becoming arduous, and sometimes you just sit, staring into space, caught somewhere between wakefulness and hypnosis. If only one night of complete rest could come, if only this anxiety, this fear, this wariness would leave you and let you gain some strength, then you wouldn't make the mistakes, and the narcissist wouldn't be angry. Perhaps then all could be as it used to be. You can still remember that, and hope with all your heart that somehow this situation can be retrieved. You never felt tired then, you never walked with a shuffle or placed the milk in the dishwasher in error. You didn't forget you were baking something until the acrid smell of smoke jolted you from your daydreaming and had you running into the kitchen, cursing your foolishness and immediately wondering if you could cook a fresh batch before the narcissist came home and witnessed and lambasted you for another of your failures. The clock shows 5 a.m., and sleep has evaded you once more. This is the product of life with the narcissist. The effects of emotional thinking, the effects of hypervigilance, the effects of being worn down, your thoughts racing from the repeated application of control against you. The dull throb in the centre of your forehead remains. You have to be up in an hour anyway. There's no point trying to sleep now. You can see the first rind of dawn trying to permeate through the curtains, and another day with the narcissist has arrived. You may as well rise and weave through this day, whichever day it is. Is it Wednesday? Or perhaps is it Thursday? You cannot quite remember now. You slide your feet from the bed and sit up, glancing at the narcissist over your shoulder, back now turned to you, his body rising and falling in a steady rhythm as he sleeps on, oblivious to your exhaustion. You stand and sway a little as you ready yourself for another day of feeling drunk with fatigue, as the sleep deprivation caused by your ensnarement with the narcissist has this effect upon you, making you exhausted, easier to control, error-prone, and ultimately left in the dark as to what is really causing this. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.